Hey everybody, hey, it's Julie Steinauer, otherwise known as Dr. Julie to my patients and Dr. Julie Mompreneur on my fan page. Easy for me to say. All right, well, I know that many of you are probably doing some family things. Maybe you're out to eat or you're coming home from church. And I myself actually am just out of church and now I'm on my way to go do some shopping. Hey, EJ and Miel, nice to see you both. You know, I have a great topic today and it's so funny. I love how whenever you start thinking about what you're going to craft for your life and you're praying about it, you're concentrating on it, and then you go to church and the message is on point with your same thoughts. Aw, isn't that fantastic? All right, hey Tina, good to see you. Oh my gosh, Miel, you're on a bus watching me. Awesome. All right, well, are you wanting to level up in life, but you really find yourself not leveling up, but actually making yourself the target for attack and problems? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm going to tell you, if we're talking boxing terms, I'm taking the gloves off today to talk to you because I think this is really, I think this is a really important message. Thanks, Miel. All right, so let's dig into your attitude just a little bit because I'll be honest, I have people who come to me all the time who tell me that they want to level up in their business, or they want to level up in their relationships, or they want to level up in their pocketbook. And we can kind of take some good hard looks at what's going on and we can realize that there's not a lot of leveling up going on, but there's a lot of excuse making. And I am just as guilty as the next person. My dad, when I was young, I can remember this so vividly, he always told us, don't ever point your finger because guess what? You've got a couple fingers pointing right back at you. And guys, I apologize for the loudness today. It's hot in Illinois. I'm sitting on the side of the road because I'm doing car talk. There's cars going by, honking, people hollering, and all kinds of craziness, so stick with me. All right, so let's dig into your attitude. Remember, when we're pointing our fingers, there's multiple fingers pointing back at us, but let's stop and think, like, what is behind our defensiveness? What's behind our attacked feelings? What's behind our anger? What's behind the things that we feel like, well, that person's not being nice to me, or there's an issue with something that's going on in your life, all right? Because if we say we want to level up and we want to get better with our relationships and we want to get better with our finances and we want to get better with our business or we want to get better in whatever area in life, then we have to do some digging. So we need to be like detectives to figure out why we're not actually leveling up. Where are the difficulties? Dig deep. Hey Alan, good to see you. All right, so when we're feeling defensive, when we're feeling attacked, when we're feeling like we need to angrily spout off something or we need to make an unkind statement to someone, there's always something behind that. Always. It's never just that person is just mad because you've done something to tick them off. All right, so when this happens, we have to think all of these things, it's like a conflict, it's like a battle. A disagreement is in effect like mass destruction on your life. And so anytime you allow yourself to get into the position where you're feeling like you're being attacked, where others are saying unkind things to you or doing unkind things to you or putting you in a bad situation or whatever that might be, well, we need to evaluate you. All right, and now I'm speaking to the choir here. We all are human beings. We all have our moments of struggle and we all have our moments of difficulty in life. And so what you just have to stop and think about is, do you really want to live a life that's leveled up, or do you really want to live a life of mediocrity that's all about battles and, well, that person offended me and that person ticked me off and that person stared at me the wrong way, or that person said something and I took offense to that. Okay, there's really no in between. It's only one or the other. You can only live one life. You cannot live the life of being attacked, I'm offended, I'm hurt, I'm all of these things. Okay, and I'm not talking about the occasional thing because everyone goes through that, right? We're all human beings. But I'm talking about on a daily basis. And if you turn on Facebook, you can see the people who this is their life. They live it on a daily basis. It's a regular occurrence for them to be offended and to be upset and to be fussy over things. And you cannot choose a life of leveling up if that's the attitude that you're going to have. So, you know, today in our message, it was awesome. It actually went right along with this. And the song that they sang before we started our church service, yeah, ouch, self-evaluation, Miel, it's very true, we have to do that. But the song that we sang at church, or they sang to us today, was a 1965 Beatles song, "Life is very short and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends." And I thought, oh my goodness, whoa, speaking to me, I love it. Of course, I'm a big fan of the Beatles. Anyway, can I get a heck yeah? All right, and if you're finding, by the way, that this is good information, drop me a comment down below. I would love to get your love back. And certainly feel free to pass this on. If you're new to me, I want you to also, thank you guys, I want you also to tell me where you're coming in from. But you know, oftentimes we need to hear these messages, and including myself, right? Because I have to keep myself on point all the time. So let's dig in. Let's look at what's going on. If you're being offended, and if you're upset, and you're angry, or you're feeling as though someone's, you know, toe-stepping with you, there's a couple of things that I think is really truly happening, if I can say that, spit that out. Chances are you're spending more time complaining than you are spending time thinking about every blessing that you have. Let me just let that one sink in for a minute. Are you whining and not being thankful for everything that you have in your life? Chances are, you know what, you're being super busy doing anything other than getting done what you need to be getting done. That's why you're defensive. You're not getting crap done. So if, you know, you're offended because someone asked you, let's say your employer comes to you and says, you know, did you get that report finished? And you didn't get it finished. And you forgot about it. Probably you were doing some things that was wasting time, or not managing your time well, let's put it that way, and you didn't get it done. So we have to kind of take some ownership here. We have to kind of go gut check, heart check time, you know, and say, I didn't do the deal. It's my fault. I'm responsible for that. I'm not getting it done. My business isn't leveling up because I'm not leveling up. I'm spending way too much time in the gossip bag section. All right, so if you are, you know, chances are you're super busy putting time into the wrong things. So I actually did a video for a group that I'm a part of, and I talked about how, you know, I had this moment last week of about 20 minutes of like beating myself up internally. I was angry about a situation that happened to me, and I didn't have control over it. However, what I did have control over was my attitude and my spirit. And I didn't beat up my kids. I didn't beat up verbally anyone who was in my path. I beat myself up internally. And so for that 20 minutes that I was angry, I had swallowed a pill of destruction. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. You know, life is like a war zone. It's a battle zone, and you're getting up to win, or you're getting up to be defeated every day. And you make a choice. So for those of you who are on here, you know, are you getting up to win? Give me a, you know, heck yeah, or a thumbs up or something. Or are you getting up to be defeated? Because if you're getting up to be defeated, well, then keep having the defeatist type attitude. Keep thinking that the world's out to get you. Keep thinking that every time someone does something, they're doing it wrong as a personal insult or attack to you and to your character, as opposed to thinking maybe they're having a bad day and they said something and I took it the wrong way. Really? Maybe that's what we should think instead. So instead of like constantly taking things personal, take things for what they are. People are busy. They didn't respond to your message because they forgot. It happens to me. They said something, you know, short and weren't really like gushing with love and all that kind of stuff. They were busy. They were at least trying to respond to you quickly so that you wouldn't be ignored. Always try to think the positive thing about people. Always try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. That's another thing that my dad and my mom always taught me. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Because again, you either want to live a life of defeat. I'm defensive. I'm being attacked. People are not kind to me. They said, you know, mean things to me. They, you know, put me down. They're trying to, you know, control me or be the boss of me, or you either want to live that life or you want to live the life of being leveled up and having an amazing, wonderful, fantastic, like mind-blowing, loving, awesome life. There's only, you have to choose. You can't, there's no in between there, right? Okay, so a couple of other thoughts here, and I have some notes. When I have a really serious topic, I make notes. I want to stay on topic and stay on point. All right, so in sports and war, what is the best defense? If you know the answer to that, drop it in the comments down below. All right. What is 54321? I'm up to win. I love it, Sarah. That's so awesome. All right. I love that. Exactly. We're not up to be mediocre and be defeated. We're up to win for the day. That's the way you have to choose to, go about your day every day. It's a battle, but it is a choice to go into battle armed with the right things. All right. So now if you know the answer once again, yes, Tina knows the answer. Awesome, Tina. A good offense is always the best defense. Okay, so now if you want to level up, here's a couple of things that you've got to think about. It's time to wise up, first of all. Hey, Jason, good to see you. All right, time to wise up. So a little tough talk. You have to see it for what it's worth. When I had my moment of, it wasn't a pleasant moment of realizing last week that I was swallowing a bitter pill of being angry over a situation. And even though it was out of my control, I still had the choice to go, okay, let's just deal with it. Or I had the choice to, for 20 minutes, be like, all on the inside to myself, right? Which, who suffered for that? Me. I was the only one who suffered for that. No one else did. It was me. How stupid is that? All right, so don't do that. So the best offense here is what we're talking about right now. So if we're going to wise up, it's time to build a fortress around yourself so that you can go into the day for battle to win. All right, so, are you going to go out and go, let's go to battle, and there's 5 million bazillion people out there who are going to be attacking me today, and everything could go wrong, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go out there and just be like, people are just going to love me. They're just going to love me. They're not going to be mean. They're not going to say anything. They're just going to love me. Nothing's going to go wrong. It's always going to be perfect. Okay, no, the best offense is not to go out there blindly. The best offense is to go out there and have, some battle gear on. So how can you have on some battle gear to attack your day, right? Because if you don't, you're foolish. Things are going to happen. But when they happen, if you've got your battle gear on, here's the difference. You will choose to not be offended. You will choose to think the best of people. You will choose to not get mad and angry. You'll choose to be thinking the positive. Because you've armed yourself, baby. You're ready for this battle, all right? So here's how you can arm yourself. Build your fortress up, right? Thank you, Sarah. If you guys are loving this, give me some comments down below. I would really think it'd be awesome if we can pass it along for others to be able to see, because sometimes we just don't think. I think that's the thing. We just don't think. It kind of brings me to one more thing really fast before I wrap everything up. One more story. I've thought about today as I was going through and writing the chapter for this book that I'm a part of, and I'm super blessed to be a part of it. And I was writing and I was going through and it hit me how for so many years I never was really building myself and designing my life and getting ready to have business and to be a success at business. I didn't know how to do it. Some people, I think, pop out of the womb and they just know exactly what to do to be successful in business, and other people have to grow themselves. And I'm a grow themselves person. I wasn't a person who just kind of knew. It didn't run through my veins. And it really made me think, as over the last 14 years of running my vision business and also of having multiple other businesses that I do on the side, Cynthia, good to see you. It really made me stop and think, I wasn't armed for the battle. And I didn't even know how to arm myself for the battle. And that's the sad thing. Sometimes we don't even know how to arm ourselves, and we don't think. We don't stop and think. We don't think that the things that we're thinking, those bad thoughts, those negative vibes, those, oh my gosh, someone was offensive to me. We don't think that we're swallowing a bitter pill. We don't think that that's going to drag down our business. We don't think that that's going to drag down our finances. We don't stop and think that it's going to drag down our relationships and ultimately be mass destruction in every area of our lives. But that's exactly what it does. And so we've got to stop, and we've got to be savvy, and we've got to start wising up to the fact that these sorts of things that happen in your life as you're trying to level up, they're going to happen more and more. And you're either going to figure out that you have to put on and be on the offensive to this all the time, like you've got to create an offense all the time, or you have to just plan to wake up to be miserable and to lose for the day. Well, I didn't come here to lose, babe. and neither did you. So it's time to level up. So who you surround yourself with is uber important. And what I'm talking about on this one is it can be the people on Facebook that you see. It can be the friends in your circle. It can even be your family. All right. It can be your choice of employees. All right. It can be lots of things, but who you surround yourself with is super important. And if you surround yourself with crabby people who whine and complain and who are always on the, that person offended me, my life is so pitiful, everything's so terrible all the time, I'm going to tell you, they're not going to bring you up. They're going to bring you down. Okay? So in order for you to level up, you have to be around people who are above you. They have to be people who are at a point that you aspire to be. So if you have maybe a relationship that's going sour and south, then find someone who has an amazing relationship. You're going to find they put an awful lot of work into it. It just doesn't come easy. And you're going to find out that they've had their bumps and their like roadblocks and their detours and their fall in the pits and everything. But find someone who you can help, get to the point to level up. They're going to help you get to that point, right? If it's finances, well, go to people who've had to go through the trenches before, who've lost everything and had to rebuild it from scratch, and they've been successful. Go to those individuals, right? Don't go to the ones who've lost everything and continue to wallow in the fact that they've lost everything. Go to the ones who've risen above. All right, so surround yourself with good people. Number 2, how you spend your time is super important as well. Last week when I had my bitter pill moment, I realized I was spending an awful lot of time scrolling. And I was scrolling and I was seeing all these like complaining things, and most of the time I hide those, but every now and then, people just are people and we all complain. And so, but I was finding gossipy things, and I was listening to, different comments, and people were feeding stuff that they heard from, the news, and I'm not a TV person nor a news person for a reason. All right, so remove yourself from those situations so that you can level up in life. You're not going to level up if you're putting, trash in. What's that going to equal? My dad always told me that. Trash in equals trash out. Right? So if it's going in here, it's going to come out here, or it's going to come out here, or it's going to come out in your heart. All right? That's one of the things that I always learned. And so you can't put trash in and expect to get a beauty pile coming out. It's going to be trashy coming out. So don't put it in. And the third thing that I would always recommend is kind of twofold, which for me is praying and reading. All right, so if we're not putting good things into our head and building up our ability to go out there to do battle every single day, well, the war zone is going to drag you down. It will drag you down, and then you'll start getting to the point where you're, crying and whining and finding offense with everything and feel like people are attacking you, and you'll feel like the world's against you, and you'll feel like that comment was meant to be, a punch to your gut. That person doesn't think that I'm doing anything. Please. All right, you're spending more time concentrating on you, and you're not putting good things in your head. Don't do that. Read. If you're reading and constantly putting in good information, your attitude is just totally different. Your mindset is on a different realm. It's on a different plane. You're thinking like way up here, high in the sky, right? You don't have time for all this low stuff. You don't have time for silliness. All right, cars driving by thinking like, what the heck's she doing parked in front of her bank under a tree? So read and put good things in. Surround yourself with good people and turn the negative stuff off. Those are my tips today. Lastly, but never least, I'll say that a negative mindset will never, ever, ever lead to a positive life. And if you think that it will, just keep swallowing the bitter pill every day and just keep thinking that people are offending you on purpose and that everyone's out to get you. And, keep putting crazy stuff all over the internet about, cursing people out and all of these crazy things that you see people do. Just keep doing that and see how your life is. We only get one life to live. I myself am going to wake up every day to do battle and to win. And I hope that you are too. And with that, I'm going to say I hope you found this really super helpful today. I hope that it was just one of those mindset punches maybe that you needed to hear again, because we all need to hear it, and the person who says it usually is the one who's saying it to themselves too. All right, so with that, I'm going to say see ya and be awesome.